And that is the sound of my coffee being ready in the microwave. I like my coffee super hot, so I pop it in the microwave and get it heated to my satisfaction. So this is a coffee time and chat with the Vitamix S50. It's been over 20 days since I started this 90-day challenge. That's good. This is a Black Rifle coffee. It's called Just Black. It's extremely good. I love it. And yeah, it definitely has a kick to it. Every time I drink it, it seems like perks me up quite a bit more than other coffees. I don't drink coffee for that purpose. I just like the flavor of coffee. But yeah, it's extremely good coffee. Anyway, one coffee I don't like is that bulletproof coffee. It's just and just people like to blend that stuff in here and well, that bulletproof coffee, and then they put hot liquids in a sealed container, and then yeah, not smart. You're not smart if you do that. All right, so I did the first week review on this machine, and it was kicking ass, just like I expected it to. Now that it's 20 days in, it's just actually day 20, either 22 or 23. I think it's day 23. There were 1 or 2 days that I didn't use the machine at all because I made things in advance or larger batches that I ate the next day. So I just don't count those days. I just roll it over to the next day. So anyway, over 23 days in, and this thing is kicking ass every single time. Now I've learned, quite a few, tidbits about the machine that are really, really minor things that people like to exaggerate. Like they blow it up. They blow it up basically. Oh, leaks and this and that. My machine stopped working. Yeah. Listen, if you read the manual, you'd know exactly why the machine stopped working. And just a little bit of brain power, you can avoid things like the leaks. The leaks are not that big a deal. It's mostly about how the gasket is seated. And this is a silicone gasket. It's very flexible, so it's one of those gaskets that it has a long life to it. So it's not like a regular gasket where you disturb it too much and it degrades. The silicone gasket is one of those that can last very, very, very long time, especially if you take care of it. So anyway, I'll go over that a little bit, but the S50 reconditioned machine is awesome. I really wish they kept these in production because, like I said, a lot of people I talk to, they ask, I travel a lot and this and that and the other thing, and they want to carry small travel bags, but they want to get a personal size blender, something like NutriBullet size. I always said S Series, that's what you want, because not only do you do the personal blending, but you also have the full size container here, and it's vented. You can make the soup on at the hotel. Sometimes you go to a hotel and the food isn't great, but usually you can find a pretty decent breakfast buffet, with fruits and stuff like that. You can make smoothies. You can do, steal some ice and and get some booze and steal the fruits a little bit there. I mean, you're not stealing them. You're just obviously paying for it because usually those breakfast buffets are included in the price. And sometimes they ain't. I know. But grab all those fruits, and then you can make your own margaritas and boozy drinks in your room, and hopefully you got a good hotel where the walls aren't so thin. If you're staying in a thin-walled hotel, you're probably gonna get complaints. But you shouldn't be staying in a thin-walled hotel anyway. But a hotel that's worth its weight in salt, you can bring this with you. And you can at least save some money by not having to go to the bar, because what are they going to do? They're going to throw everything into the Vitamix anyway and sell it to you like 4 or 5 times the price. So you can make your own boozy drinks on the go with the Vitamix S50 when you travel to hotels and whatnot. So that's a good thing about it. Another thing is, like I said, breakfast. If you want to make, you can make a fresh syrup with some of the grapes or whatever. whatever they got there. You apples, steal some apples, make a nice applesauce to top your breakfast waffle or whatever. You can make it in the machine. You know what I mean? It's like you can do all these kinds of things, especially when you know, across the country, it's just everywhere you go, it's just they sell junk food, they sell crap, and it's really, really hard to eat very good, nutritious, low-calorie dense food. So that's why I say, you know, this is one of those things that, especially when you travel, this is something that's a necessity if you want to eat right and stay in good shape. Nothing wrong with eating a little bit of crap now and then, but you know, you can't do it all the time. But yeah, this is definitely the machine for that, and I wish they kept these in production. So I've made quite a few things. I make a lot of the things repeated all the time. Like I said, it's because I'm on a low-calorie dense you know, food plan where I'm dropping the body fat and all that kind of stuff, and I have to be pretty strict with the calories, but I'm still, you know, enjoying my food. So I make my protein pancakes a lot. I make my French toast a lot. I want to change it up a little bit. Like I said, it's because of what I have in my pantry. It's like, you know, I kind of repeat the same things over and over. So sometimes, well, once I go to change my inventory in my refrigerator, then I change things up a little bit. But other than that, yeah, I kind of do the same repeated things, but you know, I've done the regular low speed mix-in, you know, 2 or 3 mix-in. I've done the high speed stuff where, you know, with smoothies. I've done ice creams. I do ice cream virtually every night. Like if you follow the 90-day challenge, you'll see like if I don't make anything else, I'm making the ice cream. The ice cream is a necessity, especially when you're on a strict low calorie meal plan. It's like, man, the ice cream is the saving grace because it's the satisfaction of the day. You know, it's like a trophy, and you get to eat pretty much as you want. Like I don't eat that much of the ice cream. That's why it's like I make half a serving all the time. Like I make a serving for me and my wife, but like normally if I wasn't on a low calorie plan, I just, you know, eat the two servings. Oh man, that's good. But yeah, because we're on low calorie diets right now, we only do the half. But it's not like we're really that hungry anyway, because we have a huge dinner and all that kind of stuff. So the machine's been making ice cream every single night. Last night, I have it on my vlog. I overloaded the machine where I kind of was just winging it, and that's kind of one of the things I want to talk about too, is winging it. You know, you can make a lot of things, but you can also make a lot of mistakes. And I knew from experience that I was overloading the machine with frozen ingredients. I was like, man, I don't know. This is kind of... What really made me nervous was those huge strawberries that I put in here. And I was like, I don't know if they're even going to make it in the blade. But you know what? That wasn't even a problem. The machine just took those giant strawberries and destroyed them. I was like, oh... But then once it got to all the other fruit, because it was like, it's with tropical fruit where it has like frozen coconut in there, and that's like really hard, like rocks. And other fibrous frozen fruit like mango and papaya, and those are really, really tough when it's like when it's frozen. So all that stuff, and mixed berries too. I put mixed berries in there. I put a whole bunch of stuff in there. So of course, you know, I was trying to process all this stuff, and it was just too much for the machine. And like if I had stopped and probably restarted it, if I had stopped, let the, you know, machine run at like a high speed for a few seconds and then continued, I probably would have completed the blend fine. But when it stopped, I just ate it anyway, and it was still good. It was still good, just not as a Vitamix smooth. And you know, it's one of those things you kind of come to appreciate with the Vitamix. It's like how smooth things turn out and whatnot. So, but anyway, it was still good. I could definitely tell it was made with real fruit. But other than that, you know, I made the ice cream, and I've also made some morning smoothies for my wife, and I use the programs, you know, just to kind of mix things up. See, I normally don't use programs. I just go ahead and, you know, manually operate it, you know, variable speed. But because, you know, people are out there that like programs, and I can see the appeal to it, you know, especially if you're a busy person in the kitchen, you're doing multitasking and stuff like that. You just, with a program, you just load it and then run the machine and then do your other things. And by the time it stops, you come back to it, blah, blah, blah. And so I've used the power blend and the regular blend. Pulse is kind of self-explanatory. So, and mind you, when I use the programs, I claim, when I wing it, I claim that I don't expect it to work because it's untested. If I just kind of invent it on the spot, I don't expect it to work every time. So, and that's the problem with a lot of people. They just think that, oh, because the program is supposed to work magic. Oh, I didn't blend it completely. It didn't work. And most of the time, they let it wrong. It's an untested recipe. The ingredients are just not appropriate for the program, whatnot. It's just, you know, they're just stupid. And they just don't understand, you know, what's going on. It's like, just because you put a program is not magic. It's just a timed little program that kind of ramps up until for a specified time. And if your recipe does not match what that time is supposed to be in that ramp up, then it's not going to work. But, you know, most of the time it does work. I make my wife smoothies in the morning while she's pretty much running out the door. And there you go, I do it. What else do I make? I also made some chicken patties, some chicken burgers. And all I did was just take some chicken and I cube it up a little bit, you know. Cube it up, I throw it in there, and I put some seasonings in it. Not in a cup, but I mean, you could probably do it in a cup. I don't see why not. But I do it in here, and then I take the tamper. And most of the time, I don't even need the tamper. If you load it right, you can just run it in here, and the meat just drops right in. And you just put it at like low speed, 2 or 3. And it'll chop it up. If you want a finer grind, like probably with beef or something that's probably tougher, or especially if it's a meat that you put in the freezer for a couple minutes to firm it up, then probably speed 4 or 5 would do. It's all a part of experimentation. Whatever you want, it's the machine will do it. And I made the nice burgers, and they tasted great. They were wonderful. And then, in fact, I'm going to do the same thing today. I have a whole bunch of chicken in there that I'm just going to grind it down and, season it up and, put veggies in it and whatever. And yeah, that thing, just grind it up and delicious chicken patties, turkey patties, whatever meat you want, the pork, whatever, or even make your own like veggie patties, the vegan patties. You can. I haven't tried those. I don't have recipes for that stuff, but if I can find a good recipe, if I had the stuff in the pantry, I'll make vegan burgers. I don't care. I eat everything. I don't care. Yeah, you can make everything in here, and you don't have to buy the patties at the store. And it's like often they taste like shit anyway. The ones I like are the Costco chicken patties, but the veggie stuff is like tolerable, but not great. But with the Vitamix, you can make them to your liking. And so yeah, I grind that stuff up. And let's see, what else did I make? Soup. I made the hot soup. I just ramp it up to 10, let it go, boom, curry carrot soup. I made that. I've made pretty much everything. My cupcakes. I've made my cupcakes in this thing. And the batter turned out great. And I was filling the batter up to the full size, the same full size that I do with the regular 7500. I was able to do the entire batch in this little machine. So you can make a whole loaf of banana wheat bread, the recipe that I made, and do it in the machine, and it'll come out perfect. Oh, damn, that coffee's good. So one thing I want to cover is some of the faults with the gasket. I haven't had any other real faults. Other than the fact that I overloaded the machine and it stopped itself, whatever. It was literally like maybe about 5 minutes before the thermal reset trip came back, and the machine came back online. And it's very easy to cool the motor off after that happens. So what I do is if I do overload the motor and then it finally comes back, I just kind of I can put a cup on here with no blade, no nothing, and then just, you know, start it up. Put it on speed 10 and let it run for about 30 seconds. And the cooling fan that's in there will run all the airflow through the motor and cool it down. So that way, about 30 seconds, it should be cooled down to its normal temperatures. Just to remove any of the hot spots that might be remaining inside the motor case. And so you can do that and then just carry on. You know, it's not a big deal. People like to blow, yeah, the guy, my machine stopped working, and then jump right in the forums. It's like, they jump right in the forum. I don't know why you jump on a forum for, you know, for that kind of thing. It's like the first thing you do when you have a problem with your machine, call Vitamix customer service. I don't understand why people don't call customer service. And don't email, just sit there and just like, email. And everybody loves email and text. It's like, listen, I understand we're in a modern age here, but you know how many emails these people get? They probably get millions of emails a day, and they go, you know, they have to sort through all that stuff. They don't have enough resources for all that kind of crap. You know, call them on the phone, and it's like, oh, well, it's taking me an hour to get customer service. Listen, when you call customer service, you can get a call back. So you don't lose your place in line. You just say, hey, look, you know, you press 1, and then whatever time goes by, they call you back. How easy is that? And then they'll help you. You know, I don't understand. Help me on the forum. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. It's like, all you have to do is call customer service or look in the book or something and just see, you know, just kind of investigate what you're doing. It's like people don't investigate. They don't do work. They're lazy. People are just so lazy. It drives me insane. And it's like, oh my God, you know, you have a problem and you're whining and moaning on the freaking forum. It's like, get out of here. This is not, you know, the Vitamix cry my eyes out forum. This is, you know, Vitamix users group where you use the machine and have tips and tricks for using it, but not for, you know, the complaint department. That's right outside the door. You know, go out there. So anyway, yeah, just call customer service and they'll help you. So that's pretty much the only thing. So now the gasket, when you clean it, you can remove the gasket, and oftentimes people clean it and then the gasket's not exactly lined up anymore. You know, once you mess with it, you kind of mess with the nature of things there. So once you put the gasket on, sometimes what happens is it's still kind of wet from me using it just a few moments ago to make my pancakes. So what happens is you'll screw it on, and it didn't do it this time. But sometimes the gasket will bulge out a little bit, and you don't really notice it. That can just be a tiny amount, but it'll be noticeable. So it'll just bulge out a little bit and cause a minor leak. And then people, oh my God, the gasket leaks. Whoa, is it a piece of crap? I spent $700 on this thing. It doesn't really cost $700. I'm just exaggerating because people think, you know, that these things cost a fortune. They really don't. People spend a lot more on dumber shit than that. Anyway, oh no, this leak and it's a piece of crap. Look, the easiest fix for that is to do it every time you put the blade on. Just, you know, go ahead and tighten it on a little bit. Don't over tighten it, and you know, just give it a nice little good tighten, and then loosen it again, and then do it again. Give it a good tighten up. So what that does is it kind of gets the gasket to align better. It'll get to its natural position, and then it'll seal up like no problem. And then there you go, problem solved. It's just people they don't think, they just panic and whine too much. Nobody has any problem solving skills, and this is like a kid can solve this. And it's like, you know, come on now. This is turning into a rant already, but anyways, the machine is kicking ass. It's still going. I can't, other than my own mistake, I can't say anything bad about the machine. It's going, and I have, you know, quite a bit of time left with it. And so the other thing I got going on is blending bowls are here, and I'm going to be using that. And that's not really a part of my routine for daily eating. So this is still the 90-day challenge is still valid because, you know, I'm using this for everything I eat. But I do have to do a couple of things with the blending bowls to, you know, to review them. But, you know, obviously the little bowls, it's not like I'm going to make a meal out of them. You know, they're just there for making small amounts of this and that, and kind of little tidbit stuff that you don't want to, you know, that you don't want to do in a cup or or a carafe, you know what I mean? So like things with like salsa, you know, it's like I can make a good personal amount of salsa in there, but you know, when I store it, I have to pour it out and stuff, and you know, sometimes it's like stuff on the top. You have to get in there with the blade scraper and kind of get it. So you know, it's nice to have a little blending bowl where it's like all you do is just unscrew the cap and you know, get a little bit of the salsa or whatever that's in there, and then you put the cap back on and throw it right back in the fridge. So that's one nice convenient thing I like about having the bowls and stuff, and the peanut butter too, because I'm on low calorie and I don't want, you know, to make excess peanut butter. And I haven't tried making it in a cup. I know you can make it in a cup, but it's a little more intensive because you can't tamp it. But with the bowls force everything down into the blade anyway. So, and my coffee's good. So make it a nice little sample size. 100% fresh virtually every time. You know, peanut butter is definitely one of the things that the blending bowl will do for me nice. And so yeah, that's coming, and I'm gonna keep turning on with the S50 here, and that's pretty much it. You know, nothing else to go. This is week 2.5, week 2.5 review of the Vitamix S50. Worst Vitamix ever, don't buy it, blah, 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 blah. Nonsense, it's 5-star. If you can pick one of these up, they go pretty, you can find some of them that are really, really inexpensive on eBay. Some of them, most of them are around 200 bucks, which is like, I would say a fair price. It's a fair price, but especially if it's new, then it's a good price. But it's like, if it's a reconditioned one, it's still a good price. But there are some used ones out there that are pretty complete that are like, some of them pop up for 150 bucks and this and that. Believe me, if my wife hadn't said, you know, no more Vitamix machines, then I would have jumped on a couple of them. But, you know, we're happy where we're at. And, yeah, you can pick them up. And I highly recommend it. Even if you have a full-size Vitamix, and if you travel a lot, you know, especially if you go on a road trip and this and that, you go to, you know, visit family, whatever, and they don't have one and whatever. You know, this is a nice little thing to take with you and whatnot. But when I call customer service, the primary reason they don't make these anymore was the personal cup adapter came out and pretty much took away the market for this, which is kind of a shame because I still think that the lightweight base and the and the because it's so modular that you can take everything apart, you know, blades and all that, the lid, you can really pack it down in a travel bag and you know, go anywhere with it and still stay under the 50-pound bag limit for the airlines. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I highly recommend it. This is a long video, but you know, this is a comprehensive review. This is things that, you know, that need to be covered. All right, so have a good morning. I'm going to finish my coffee.